Joyride, 1957, a novel of intrigue by J.P. Wasmiller, Chapter 66. It's a couple hours later when the conductor knocked on their door to let them know the train would be in Garrison, Montana in 10 minutes. James was sleeping soundly, so Misty got up and quickly packed their suitcases. Then she woke the sleepy James. "Baby, we better get off here in Garrison, then we can catch the Greyhound to Helena. I know the governor. He will put us up. Maybe you could see a doctor," she said, squeezing his hand. He cupped his hand over her massive right breast and kissed her left one. Her whole body tingled. "Maybe we can go on to Missoula. It would give us an hour to play with." "Rather play," he said. She was most tempted, but realized their trail would be far more confusing to the pursuers if they got off now. "Maybe I'll take care of all your needs tonight, I promise, but we better get off here." He did not argue, and the two exited the sleeper car as the train stopped in Garrison, Montana at 5:15 p.m., only 15 minutes behind schedule. They were directed by the porter to the bus stop and boarded the Greyhound bus to Helena, after Misty grabbed a coffee for herself and a Coca-Cola for James. The bus was blue and silver with a blue framing on each window down the side. The destination sign read Helena. The two took seats near the front, and James was back asleep immediately. Misty pulled out her copy of the New York Times bestseller, Peyton Place, by Grace Metalius, put her bookmark in another page, and she began to read the juicy story. She imagined herself as one of the characters, though none of them had her fantastic figure. It's about a half-hour ride from Garrison to Helena, the capital of Montana. She checked her brand-new Rolex Lady Datejust. It read 6:40 p.m. She kissed James on the cheek to wake him up, but he did not respond. She then kissed him on the ear, something which always seemed to arouse him or any man. But still he did not awaken. Finally she began talking to him, but he still did not respond. Now, worried, she did note that he was breathing. She dug her finger into his collar area between the folds of his partially unbuttoned white shirt, but again he just kept breathing. Nothing more. Finally she tried to pull him up, but she could not. After all the other passengers left the bus, she called to the driver. "Driver, could you please come and help me?" He came back onto the bus and saw her trying to lift James. "What seems to be the trouble?" "Oh, I see. Sleeping one off. Here, I'll help you." He was a huge man, 6'4", and she guessed some 300 pounds. It was no trouble. Soon he had James on the platform, seated on a bench. "I'll call a taxi," he said, and turned to do so.